Welcome back, focused learners, to another explainer. Today we're unpacking a fascinating trend that is literally reshaping how developers work. We're talking about vibe coding, building software with agentic AI. It feels like absolute magic when you first see it in action, but today we're going to lay down the exact roadmap to take that magic and actually make sure the code it pumps out is safe, testable, and fully shippable. Okay, let's dive into this. On our agenda today, we'll start by defining what vibe coding actually is, look at what happens when good vibes inevitably turn bad, and then we'll map out a survival guide across 3 distinct phases: architecture, implementation, and finally, the review. Section 1. What is vibe coding? Picture this. You're a developer sitting in your IDE. But instead of painfully typing out boilerplate, you just casually ask the model for a new Java banking API. Boom. That right there is vibe coding. It's generating code with a large language model by iterating through prompts and testing on the fly, often without even fully reading the output. You're just vibing. You're riding the momentum of the AI to get a working demo without poring over every single line of syntax. Let's move along and see how this builds in practice. It's really a continuous loop based on the React framework. That's reasoning and acting. So you prompt the agent, you watch the recommended changes pop up in your editor, and then you just hit approve or decline. You run it, and if it breaks, no big deal. You fix it right there on the fly with the AI, and you just repeat the loop. Now, there are absolutely some ideal use cases where this workflow feels like pure magic. Need to scaffold a demo app from scratch in literally minutes? Perfect. Building a quick command line interface, throwing together a UI, or knocking out repetitive scripting tasks? The speed is mind-blowing. It's even a real game changer for just asking an agent questions so you can finally understand your own codebase structure. Section 2. When good vibes turn bad. Now, what's really interesting about this next part is the sharp contrast in reality. We've hit the peak of inflated expectations, but look at the difference here. Vibe coding is fast, it's fun, and it totally skips traditional software development practices. But deployment-ready code, yeah, that still requires rigorous discipline. We're talking tests, code reviews, continuous integration, and solid documentation. You simply cannot casually vibe your way into a production environment. And if you try to, well, the production risks are massive. Blindly trusting a large language model leaves you wide open to AI hallucinations. You run the very real risk of exposing your API keys, hard-coding sensitive secrets directly into your repo, and just completely bypassing CI/CD pipelines. The sources are crystal clear on this. Absolutely do not let a rogue AI push unvetted secrets to your production branch. So, what does this all mean? How can you actually be a better vibe coder? How do we bridge that massive gap between this incredibly fast workflow and the strict demands of production software? Let's pivot and look at an actionable 3-step blueprint. Section 3, Phase 1, Architecture. Here's the very first step, and it is absolutely crucial. Design your application before the agent writes a single line of code. Preparation is literally the ultimate secret to reining in an AI's chaotic output. Think about it. If you don't know exactly what you're building, the AI definitely won't know either. To pull this off, we use 2 highly effective architectural strategies. First up is test-driven development, or TDD. Writing your tests first guarantees deterministic results, so you know the AI's code actually does what it's supposed to do. Second is spec-driven development. Think of this like giving your agent a crystal-clear grocery list of desired outcomes to cross off, one by one. Both of these act as super strict guardrails. Section 4, Phase 2, Implementation. So with your architecture in place, the building begins. But the crucial point here is that giving your agent the right tools is everything. You've got to keep them updated with the newest libraries and docs, often using the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. Enforce automated testing so the agent can check its own work without you ever having to touch the terminal. And please use Git. When the AI inevitably breaks something, you need a structured way to just revert those changes instantly. Section 5, Phase 3, the review. Okay, we are now in the final and I'd argue most important phase before this code hits the real world. And here's a rather surprising fact to level set our expectations. Reviewing AI-generated code can actually take longer than writing it yourself, right? You might have scaffolded the whole app in 5 minutes, but fully understanding what the AI just built to ensure it's safe, yeah, that's where the real heavy lifting happens. Because of that, your standard review checklist is non-negotiable. You absolutely must run linting and tight checks. You have to run security scanning for all your dependencies. And you need to manually hunt for hard-coded secrets or vulnerabilities. The basics of software development haven't disappeared. The focus has just shifted. And this brilliantly illustrates a workflow hack to actually speed this whole process up. Use a separate outside AI agent to review the code produced by your primary Vibe coding agent. Pitting one AI against another gives you this awesome, unbiased outside perspective to catch blind spots before you ever push to your repository. Pull in the whole shebang together, our survival guide boils down to these three phases. Architecture uses TDD and spec-driven development. Implementation relies on MCP, Git, and automated testing. And the review leverages scanners alongside that genius two-agent trick. The best part? Modern coding agents can easily adapt to these exact practices right inside their system prompts, which is going to save you a ton of frustration. It all boils down to that classic quote, with great power comes great responsibility. Wielding agentic AI is genuinely incredible, but doing it right, that requires real structure and discipline. So I'll leave you with this provocative thought. The next time you sit down to vibe code, are you just going to let the agent run wild, or are you putting these guardrails in place first? Let us know your experiences in the comments. Thanks for checking out this explainer with me, and keep learning.